It's going to be hello and welcome to another installation of TechTalk. Yes, it's Friday. Mike is angry. He's got some venting to do today. So Mike, let it out. Let it out.
Yeah, what's the subject today, Mike?
Subject today, guys, is morons of the road. Morons of the road, section 2, part B. Right.
Oh, this is my favourite.
Singles versus doubles. Single lane versus 2 lanes. Absolutely.
We're about to talk about tennis.
Segments. Singles versus doubles segments. And look, I'm so much of a fence sitter. I'm going to talk about mixed sets. Singles and doubles.
Singles and doubles.
It really does sound like a tennis match.
It does.
I'm personally a singles man. Like, I like my singles.
You like your singles?
Yeah.
I know Josh likes singles. He makes no question of that. That's for sure.
True. Milan, what's your preference, man? Doubles or singles?
Singles.
Singles.
Yeah. So we've got 3 singles and 1 mixed.
1 mixed. Why do we even sell doubles then?
Well, it's interesting that you bring the mixed thing into it, Mike. I like that. I do. You're only halfway in the wrong direction. No, just kidding. It all comes down to it all comes down to what we're trying to achieve. And why do I like singles? Well, I'm always running a full set. And for our brothers in the north, a full set means that we're running 6 on each disc. Okay, so that's what we mean by a full set, just to clarify that. And the reason why I typically like to run a full set of singles is because I just like to get that donut and push that donut around. And of course, if we're only running a set of singles, that means that we've got more weight per segment. But, that may not necessarily be what the floor needs. It may not necessarily be what the power is allowing us to do on that particular day. So it all really comes down to what the application is. But yes, I'm trying to go after that as fast as I can, so using a full set of singles.
Probably, I reckon half the time I'm having this conversation, singles and doubles, is when it comes to GRTs. That's probably the biggest conversation when I'm in relation to singles and doubles and full set of doubles or a half set of doubles and half set of singles and things like that. So,
how am I supposed to keep up, Mike? How am I supposed to keep up with that? Yes, that's a completely different conversation. That's it. Well, I thought in my mind that we were talking about 30 grids, but yeah, Mike, you're absolutely correct. Once we get off those 30 grids, the game changes a bit because we're looking for something else. When I'm talking 30 grids and I want to go just a full set of singles, I'm just talking about ripping that surface open. But after that, it's all about repairing.
That's just like the quickest tech talk in the world. Hi guys, singles. See you next week.
But talk of the industry is like, yeah, we damage that floor. Yeah. But when I use doubles, then, I'm going to do less damage to the floor. I'm going to create less holes. But
Shaniqua,
you slow the productivity to half. And knowing what the tool can do, GRT all the way, baby, they will fill all those holes up if you know how to use them correctly. So,
all right, I'm getting lost. You're losing me. I don't know what's happening. What? So are we going from 30 grids to GRTs? I'm lost.
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about the initial cut, right? Initial 30 cut. We're talking about doubles, singles. The talk of the industry as well is, hey, I don't like using singles. Reason is I don't like to open up that floor too much. They're too aggressive. They're just going to create more cavities in my floor. If I use doubles, it's a little bit more gentle on the floor. I'm not ripping that floor open. But knowing what I was saying, knowing what the tool can do, knowing the GRTs, we can repair that.
Okay, I'm the kind of guy who, if I get a massage, right, I like it right in there. I like getting right into where it's got to hurt, right?
Remind me not to get a massage with you anytime.
And get the elbow in, get the thumb in there, I want to be in pain when that's happening, because once that's done, the work's done. Deep tissue massage, man, and then after that, it's nice and gentle. But if you start gentle, it's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
Right. But it's each their own. Some people really like a gentle massage all the way through, but to me, it's kind of pointless. Why go?
I guess it comes down to what are we trying to achieve here? When we're talking about 30s, what are we usually doing? We're opening that floor up. That's right. So I guess it comes down to how quickly do you want to do that step? So by using singles, you're going to create a lot more point pressure. So it's going to allow you to rip into that floor. Now, obviously, you won't be able to use a full set of singles all the time, because depending on what kind of floor you're dealing with, perhaps it's overloading a machine. That's when we look into going into doubles and things like that. So I guess if objective is speed, then singles all the way.
You're paid by the hour, you might go for doubles.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. So the other thing is to remember, and this goes back to what Janie was saying before, and also ties into what you just said there, Milan. What's the purpose? If the purpose is to try and get expose that aggregate, get the floor open as fast as possible, then singles is going to be the best way to do it. Get the most amount of horsepower on those on those points and just tear it open. That will make a bit of a mess when compared to running a full set of doubles, because you've got half the amount of the point loading. So now we've roughed out the floor, as I like to call it, and then after that we actually move into the 50 grit. And the 50 grit's a completely different story, because I'm not going to stand here and say that you should be running a full set of singles for that, because now we want to start smoothing out that floor, and so we're going to use a full set of doubles, because it's actually going to help us to make the floor flatter and smoother. And then when we run into a set of GRTs, if you're using one of the heavier weight machines out there, I really want to try and get a set of triples under there, because it's got an even broader footprint, which makes the floor even flatter again. So we're starting off rough, and then then the massage gets more and more gentle towards the end.
Yeah, well, I agree. I mean, we did that comparison. I don't know if some people remember when we were running the live streams, we run a side-by-side comparison versus doubles versus in a 30 cut, singles versus doubles. And literally, we timed it. We got double the amount of run in the same amount of time. So production.
How much? What was the pressure difference between them?
It's double the pressure.
And that was an 820 big block push, wasn't it, that machine?
Yeah,
you got it.
I think also for those who have been grinding for a long time and feel very comfortable using doubles, because that's where they learned on. And I think when it comes down to continually pushing and evolving and keeping production, like meaning production speeds on site and actually getting off the job quicker, why not try singles? Try to get used to using singles when you can. I think it's great because, versus, like, because you're comparing a lot of the time when you're speaking to guys, oh yeah, the doubles are a little bit more expensive, but they last me longer. Okay, all right, they last you longer in the amount of meters you're going to get, but you're slowing your speed down.
Take you longer.
On a different project, that's where the money is.
In and out.
That's it.
Sure. I guess it comes into a form of habits as well. We see it a lot in the industry. There wasn't avenues of education. There wasn't seminars back in the day. So I feel like there's a lot of old habits and a lot of old tales in the industry. Particularly, I come from a HTC background, and that was a lot. Double half sets. That's what you use. So I think once people become comfortable, or they think they're comfortable, they're too afraid to venture out and actually look at avenues where they can increase productivity and really work with those configurations of different diamonds. So,
those doubles, they're training wheels. You got to drop them.
Yeah,
that's right.
Actually, where it comes up a lot in conversation with when I was sort of starting with Works Plus, and one thing I've sort of learned very quickly with with yourself, Josh, and Tim, and going to you guys with issues and trying to learn and having a guess at things before you guys had set me right. And I quickly learned after quite a few times, I was talking about going to a different bond. And then very quickly you guys pull me up and go, well, hang on, why don't you try singles instead of doubles? And I very quickly learned that, definitely a good thing to pick up on for sure.
Yeah, I agree, Mike. Like quite often people go for a soft 30 double when they could potentially use a medium single 30. You know, that means we're increasing the strength of our bond. So that means we're gonna have slightly less aggression, but we have more point loading. So that means we're still gonna get better speeds. And once we're in that little layer, what Josh likes to talk about, once we're in that layer, when those GRTs biting into that donut, when you have that little abrasive of particles you need to get that tool working, you're on the money. You're digging for gold.
Beautiful.
For sure.
Oh, well, that was a good healthy chat, guys.
And like just the last point, Josh, as well. So surface texture, doubles versus singles. Which is the better texture for your 50s?
Oh man, if I have to compare, they're incomparable. I mean, you've got twice the amount of pressure, and if you're running it in its optimal temperature zone as well, of course, because when you drop down to a single, you increase the pressure, increase the heat. So you need to keep an eye on that. But if you're running it in its optimal pressure, optimal temperature zone rather, it's going to leave a much rougher texture, and I like that because it also helps my 50s stay more open and cut more effectively, and also keep the temperature down in the 50s. So I'm a big advocate of having that extra texture from running those singles as opposed to the doubles.
So are you saying not only are we going to be more productive on our 30 cut, our 50 cut is going to be more productive too as a result? And
because your 50 was more productive and leaves a more of a defined profile, and then that means that your GRTs are going to go faster as well. And that means that they're going to leave a more defined profile. So your transition into resins, into the homing stage is also going to go faster. And you just keep going faster and faster and faster. Or you could just go with doubles, and you would be paying these sales reps here more money to have them. Haven't heard you guys balk about that. Drop down to singles and increase your speed, increase your texture, and it actually makes it a lot easier to get through the stages in the floor.
Nice. Is that enough of road rage for you, Mike?
Never.
All right. Mike, just to let you know, I am that guy who, when you finally get the overtaking lane, I am the guy who sticks to the left, but I increase my speed.
I'm not asking you to break the speed limit. Just do the speed limit. That's fine.
I will. Once we have the safety of that overtaking lane finally, and you'll never get past me in the right lane.
You know, I go to Geelong every Thursday, and there's nothing quite like being in traffic going over the Westgate Bridge, and people go, hang on, I'm on a bridge. I better go 20k slower than the speed limit. I'm on a bridge. Don't you realise? I'm on a bridge.
That's it.
Love it. Poor Mikey.
Put the radio on, put the window down, relax.
It's
I think it's
what time is it? What time is it?
I think it's time for a beer.
Time for a beer.
Time for a beer. It's Friday. Bring the singles out.
I was going to say, when it comes to beers, I do doubles, by the way.
Hey, that's a completely different conversation altogether. Increase the pressure.
All right. Good stuff, boys.
It's rough very quick. You too, gentlemen.
Cheers,
See you
guys.
back here next week. Have a great weekend, fellas.
Will do. You too. See ya.